Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? I hope you're doing fine and this finds you in a good health, all right? Now, this is another beautiful time that we want to talk about whatever is happening in our country, the new updates that we have. Of course, I'm here to actually update you on anything that is happening in this country, all right? So right now, what we want to talk about is President William Ruto host IFTAR in State House, all right? This is something that has just happened a few minutes or hours ago. And the most important thing that William Ruto talked about, because IFTAR maybe let me explain what IFTAR is if you don't understand, or rather if you don't know. IFTAR is the meal that Muslims take after a long day of fasting. Ikifika jioni wanajikusanya pamoja wakila for the first time kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni. Hiyo ndo tunaita IFTAR. And now President William Ruto amehost IFTAR in State House. It's not a strange thing, it's not a bad thing, it's something normal, it's something that happens because as a leader, kama president, kama rais wa nchi, wenzetu Waislamu wakiwa katika kipindi hiki cha mfungo wa Ramadhan, the government must participate kwa sababu it's one of the religion in our country, one of the religions yenye iko na heshima yake na upendo wake pia kwa nchi yetu. And one thing that I heard Mr. President saying is that mniombe, okay? Now, President Ruto asked the Muslim fraternity to pray for him. All right, why do you think he is asking for this prayer? That is another question that I want you to ask yourself. Why do you think he is asking for this prayer? We understand and we know that over the weekend and the past few days, he has had a very tough days. Issues zimekuwa huku na huku, being that alienda kwa uwanja Nyayo, watu wakampigia kelele kwanza. Alienda Nyayo, watu wakampigia kelele kwamba Ruto must go. Huku the former president Uhuru Kenyatta pia amemwattack na issues, and he is someone mwenye anaona hizi vitu. If you remember very well, even at the time when he was given a name Kasongo, he joked about it because he visits social media na anaona hizi vitu. Now Ruto talked about a few things while he was addressing the Muslim fraternity yenye ilikuwa na a few Kenyan leaders, pia politicians here and there. Now, one of the things he talked about is the affordable housing project. Ruto explained that he has been working so hard kwamba yeye ni mjenzi, and he has been working so hard kwa project ya affordable housing yenye ime create employment kwa vijana, imeleta urahisi kwa kupata nyumba kwa kuishi kama Mkenya. He also talked about the infrastructure, the roads that has been built under his regime for the past 2 years or 3 amekuwa in power. He also talked about the schools zenye government inajenga, and apart from the schools that the government inajenga, he also mentioned the schools zenye anajenga yeye mwenyewe binafsi, okay? Ruto talked about a number of things, the activities that have been happening in this country, and one thing that I want us to ask ourselves before we watch the speech is that why did Ruto ask the Muslim leaders and the Muslim fraternity to pray for him? What do you think Ruto is going through? Do you really think that Ruto is in a point whereby he is confused, vile anaona vitu zikiendelea, and now he is seeking for prayers? Because for a leader kusimama mbele ya watu and even to ask them to pray for him, it's not a small thing. And also another thing that he talked about that I'd like to touch on a little bit is that his government has space, okay? That his government has space such that when someone comes in, nobody needs to leave. Okay, so when someone comes in, nobody needs to leave. You know, sometimes I sit down and I start thinking on how Ruto reason. I'm like, well, okay, does he forget himself sometimes? Because we remember Ndindi Nyoro amefukuzwa kazi juzi and he has been replaced, right? So if his government has enough space yenye mtu si lazima mtu atolewe ndo mwingine aingizwe, then what happened to Ndindi Nyoro then? Because hayuko uongozini saizi kwa sekta yake, now he has gone back to Kiharu for the people to work for the people of Kiharu. And now the president is saying that his government has space, a lot of space, that mtu akiingia si lazima mwingine atoke. And I think he was trying to talk about the changes that he made for PS just the other day, and he was just trying to say that there's still more spaces, and maybe we expect kutakuwa na changes nyingi ama what I think. So let's watch President Ruto's speech during the IFTAR with the Islams in State House. Then you tell me what you think.
Ndugu Waislamu, assalamu alaikum. Tafadhali mketi chini. Viongozi wote wenzangu, ndugu Waislamu, jioni ya leo kwanza nataka nimshukuru Mungu kwa kutupatia nafasi hii ya jioni ya leo kupata nafasi pamoja na nyinyi kufuturu pamoja, hasa siku hii 10 za mwisho. Najua ni ya muhimu sana, na niseme karibuni hapa kwa niaba yangu na familia yangu. Wale mnafika hapa mara ya kwanza, karibuni. Wale mnafika hapa tena, karibuni tena. I know that we would have wanted to listen to our 2 other leaders who are present with us here this evening, but I have another engagement exactly at 8:30, because as you all know, we have a situation in our region of different types of instability, and and Kenya is providing leadership in many respects to stabilize our region. To all of you, let me say how proud I am to be associated and to be part of this Muslim community. I have proudly worked with many Muslim leaders. We have done many things together. We have built mosques together. We have built churches together. We have built madrasas together. And it is because we believe in God. And I want to encourage you as Muslims to continue not just believing in God, but doing something about it. Because we are all the better as a nation if we believe in God. A nation that doesn't have God in its equation is a nation that has no future. And I am very proud as president of this country that I lead a religious nation. And I want to tell you that we must never take it for granted that we have the freedom of worship in Kenya, and that we can worship God however we want. There are countries who do not have the privilege that we have. There are countries where religion is under pressure from politicians and from public policy. We are proud that in Kenya we share our religion freely and we work together freely. And I want to ask our religious leaders, let us celebrate the freedom of worship in Kenya. Let us not tusiingize kiburi katika mambo ya dini katika taifa letu. Taifa la Kenya tumebarikiwa na nafasi ya uhuru wa kuabudu katika taifa letu. Kenya hii serikali, sisi zote freely tunaungana na dini, tunashiriki dini, tunafanya kazi kusaidia dini zetu. It is only in Kenya that religious leaders are opposed to people supporting religion. I wish they knew that there are places where religion is under siege from politicians and from public policy. So I want to encourage you, mwendelee na kumtolea Mungu, mwendelee na kujenga. Mimi ni mjenzi, and you don't need any evidence more than you can see. You know, I am in the business of building schools. We've built 17,000 classrooms in the last 2 years. As a person, I am building 167 classrooms in Nairobi County alone. We are building 154,000 affordable housing units across Kenya. We are building 240 new markets around Kenya. We are building close to another 100,000 hostels or hostel spaces for our children in Kenya. We are building roads. And as you know, this building was not there. I built it. And behind me, I am also building something else. And so, we are not going to leave our churches and our mosques behind. We will build them as well. Let us continue nation building. That is how you build a nation. And nation building is work in progress. We must keep at it and continue doing that which we must do in building our nation. I will proudly say that this nation is a nation that believes in God, even when we have challenges. Look at what God has done for our nation. When we thought things have fallen apart, God has put it together better than we had even organized ourselves. And so, I will continue the journey of eliminating prejudices, reducing and eliminating differences, making sure that equity, equality, fairness, and leaving nobody behind become the definition of our nation. And I want to give you my word, by God's grace, this country is going to move forward. Na waeleza kwa mapenzi ya Mungu nchi yetu ya Kenya. Tumekubaliana ya kwamba tuondoe yale mambo ambayo yanatuletea ubaguzi. Mumesema hapa kuhusu mambo kadha, vitambulisho, mambo ya passports, mambo yale mengine ambayo yanatuletea matatizo ya ubaguzi. And I have committed myself that nchi yetu ya Kenya tutaondoa ubaguzi, tutazima chuki, tutaondoa migawanyiko, tutamaliza ukabila. Ndio Kenya isimame iwe moja. I know there are people who feel jittery when we talk about equity and equality. There is absolutely nothing to be fearful about, because unity, equality, fairness, justice is good for everybody. And so we must do it together. So, and I want to, because we are in an occasion that has a religious bearing, and we thank God that we can celebrate our religion in different ways, but in harmony as a nation. And we can do it together. That we will pursue the things that unite us, that bring us together, that creates an environment where all our aspirations can be achieved. And I am very confident that we will succeed together. I have said, and I will repeat here, that the government of Kenya is able to carry all of us from different backgrounds, from different communities, different religions. We can all fit in the government of Kenya. And nobody needs to walk out for somebody else to come in. Na kama kumekuwa na mtu mwenye ako na taswishi kwamba serikali ya Kenya inaweza kututosha sisi wote. Now we have a broad-based government. Everybody is here. Sasa tuko na watu kutoka kila mahali. Na bado haijajaa, iko sawa. It is okay. Hakuna. Nobody has had to leave for others to come in. We are all here, and that is the beauty of our nation, and that is the beauty of unity. And so, I want to encourage all of us here that we can do this together as Kenyans. Mwisho kabisa, as we move forward, we will continue to look at the issues that have been raised here, issues of education, and how we can mainstream religious education and find a nexus between religious education and the formal education that we have. So we will look at what we need to do. Mumesema mambo ya Waqf, and I agree with you. It is it's taken too long. There is absolutely no reason, and I had a problem with the AG who was there. He was fairly incompetent, but I now have a very competent lady. I now have a very competent lady, and I can assure you that the issues of work will be sorted out in a matter of months. I also want to assure you that our Nubian brothers and sisters are solid members of the Kenyan society. And therefore, they are going to be mainstreamed as a Kenyan community, either by Madaraka or by Jamhuri. So at least this year, we will conclude the exercise of them being mainstreamed as part of the Kenyan society, because indeed they have made huge contributions to the development of our nation and to the progress of Kenya. So finally, ladies and gentlemen, I want to assure you of my support in every aspect, that you need my support. And as we build this nation, I also want to assure you that this nation can carry all of us. We want to thank God what He has done to us. Our economy is doing well. The weather is responding well. We are making good progress with all the assignments that we have. And in the middle of many difficulties that are global and different other aspects, we are making progress as a nation. Continue to pray for Kenya and continue to pray for us. And let me ask for myself, continue to pray for me as president of this nation so that I can know what is the will of God and I can do it. So otherwise, asanteni sana. Nashukuru kwa ninyi kupata nafasi to share this moment with me and here in State House. And you are welcome another moment when you have time. Karibuni tena. Pass my regards to your families and to all the places that you are going. Asanteni sana and God bless you.
My name is Madini Classic and I love the fact that you are here. We are here together. We are like a family now. This is our community. We build it together. I don't take it for granted, and each and every time I do a video, I'll keep on telling you thank you so much for visiting our YouTube channel, liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing with other people. We value you so much and thank you very much. That was my time. Bye-bye.